Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers of all time, stands as a beacon of wisdom and virtue in the annals of history. As a Roman emperor who reigned from 161 to 180 AD, he was the last ruler in a lineage later revered as the Five Good Emperors. Despite being in a position of unparalleled power with the ability to indulge in every temptation and desire, Aurelius chose to dedicate his life to the pursuit of fairness and justice. During his reign, Aurelius found solace in the creation of a series of autobiographical writings, now known as the Meditations. These profound musings have become a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, offering invaluable insights into the human condition and the path to self-improvement. In the Meditations, Aurelius presents a guide on how to elevate oneself, focusing on the importance of adopting a cosmic perspective and critically analyzing one's judgment of both self and others. As a leader of a vast and powerful empire, Aurelius faced numerous challenges, including multiple wars that threatened the stability of his reign. Yet he turned to his own Stoic philosophy to navigate these tumultuous times, finding the strength to let go of stress and worries and to be the most reliable and exemplary leader he could be. Through his unwavering commitment to Stoicism, Aurelius demonstrated the transformative power of this ancient philosophy, which not only serves as a theoretical framework, but also as an inspiring way of thinking and living. The Stoics held an unshakable belief that doing the right thing was the key to individual happiness, and that to do so, one must cultivate sound judgment and clear, rational thinking. This principle lies at the heart of Stoicism, guiding its adherents towards a life of virtue and contentment. In this exploration of Stoic teachings, we will delve into 5 essential lessons from the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, each designed to help you develop a rational mind and think more clearly. These lessons, distilled from the timeless wisdom of the Meditations, offer a roadmap to personal growth and enlightenment. Lesson 1. Train your perception. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed, don't feel harmed and you haven't been. This powerful statement encapsulates one of the greatest lessons of Stoicism, the importance of taking control of your perception. As human beings, we are prone to judging every experience, encounter, and sight we come across, assigning value to each moment as either good or bad, boring or fun, beautiful or ugly. This constant judgment, often unbeknownst to us, can be an exhausting and detrimental practice. For instance, labeling every interaction on a particularly challenging day as awful only serves to further taint our perception of that day. Similarly, dismissing a party as boring relegates it to a negative space in our memories. Our initial judgments are frequently influenced by our emotions, which means they may not be entirely rational. Moreover, our tendency to judge every moment of our lives often goes hand in hand with a propensity for using metaphors and hyperboles that exaggerate the severity of a situation. For example, when faced with a breakup, we might say our ex broke our heart, rather than acknowledging the fundamental truth that they no longer reciprocate our feelings. This way of thinking and speaking shapes our emotional landscape, often to our detriment. It is not the event itself that causes us distress, but rather the way we unconsciously choose to interpret it. The Stoics, in their wisdom, encourage us to be mindful of the judgments we make and to approach each situation with care and discernment. One way to cultivate this mindfulness is to actively undo our judgments, looking past our initial reactions to see the deeper truth beneath. By training our perception in this manner, we can free ourselves from the tyranny of our own negative thoughts and emotions and embrace a more rational, balanced perspective on life. To truly master the art of training your perception, as the Stoics teach, you must learn to look beyond your initial instincts and judgments. Instead, strive to view each situation through a lens of optimism and reason. Take, for example, that party you attended, which at first glance seemed dull and uninspiring. Rather than labeling it as a boring event, reframe your perspective. Acknowledge that you had the opportunity to explore a new environment and encounter unfamiliar faces. While you may not have formed deep connections with anyone at the party, by approaching the experience without a negative predisposition, you open yourself up to the possibility of growth and learning. This practice of questioning your knee-jerk reactions and emotions is the foundation of training, your perception of life. Whenever you find yourself forming a strong opinion about something, pause and ask yourself, is this a rational viewpoint? What evidence am I basing this opinion on? Is there a more positive or constructive way to interpret this situation? Marcus Aurelius emphasized that harms can only exist if you perceive them as such. In other words, the magnitude of a difficult experience is directly proportional to the weight you assign to it. The more you dwell on the hardships and challenges, the more overwhelming they become. However, the truth is that you have complete control over how much these situations affect you. The Stoics encourage us to view every obstacle as an opportunity for personal growth and development. There is a powerful exercise called turning the obstacle upside down, which helps to reframe challenging situations in a positive light. Imagine, for instance, that a new coworker is struggling to learn the ropes, and their mistakes are impacting the company's bottom line. It's natural to feel frustrated in such a scenario, as this coworker seems to be an impediment to your goals of efficiency and profitability. However, by shifting your perspective, you can transform this obstacle into an opportunity for growth. This situation presents a chance for you to cultivate patience, hone your teaching skills, and learn how to effectively integrate new team members into the company. It also allows you to develop strategies for navigating stressful periods. These are all valuable skills that will serve you well in the long run, ultimately contributing to increased productivity and success. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." By embracing this mindset, you can learn to see the hidden potential in every challenge you face, instead of judging everything you encounter in an exaggerated or negative light. Take a moment to objectively assess the situation. You may be surprised to find that life is simpler and more manageable than you initially thought. Remember, every circumstance has both a positive and a negative interpretation. By consciously adjusting your mindset and choosing to focus on the more constructive perspective, you will find that few things have the power to disturb your peace of mind. This mental shift will allow you to navigate life with greater ease and resilience. 2. Learn to control your emotions. Marcus Aurelius advises us to stop allowing our emotions to override the wisdom of our minds. He urges us to refrain from being hypocritical, self-centered, and irritable. It is a common belief that acting on emotion is the antithesis of acting rationally, and for good reason. Nothing clouds our judgment more than our own unchecked emotions. If you aspire to maintain clarity of thought at all times, one of the most crucial skills to cultivate is emotional control. According to Marcus Aurelius, the emotion of anger, in particular, often does us more harm than good. However, it is important to note that controlling your emotions does not mean suppressing them entirely. When you experience intense anger as a result of betrayal, for example, you cannot effectively manage this emotion by denying its existence to yourself or others, or by pretending that everything is fine. The anger will persist, regardless of how deeply you attempt to bury it. Instead, the Stoics teach that the key to controlling emotions like anger lies in redirecting them. The next time you find yourself consumed by anger, ask yourself what constructive actions you can take in response to this emotion. While the temptation to lash out at the person who hurt you may be strong, consider whether this reaction will truly alleviate your pain or improve your circumstances. Will it help the one who betrayed you to become a better person? In essence, reflect on your initial impulses and question whether they will lead to positive outcomes. If the answer is no, seek out alternative ways to express your emotions that are more beneficial. Perhaps engaging in a calm, honest conversation with the person who caused you pain, expressing your feelings while also striving to understand their perspective, could yield better results. Other healthy outlets for emotional release include journaling, engaging in physical exercise, immersing yourself in a favorite hobby or pastime, or any activity that allows you to process and release your anger in a productive manner. 3. Focus on what you can control. One of the most empowering lessons that Stoicism imparts is the importance of focusing on what lies within your control. In a world filled with uncertainties and external factors that can sway our lives in unexpected directions, it is easy to become overwhelmed and disheartened. However, by shifting your attention to the aspects of life that you can directly influence, you can cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience. Consider, for example, the pursuit of a writing career. If you measure your success solely by the number of books sold or the acclaim your work receives, you are effectively relinquishing control over your happiness to the whims of the market and the opinions of others. Instead, if you choose to define success by the satisfaction you derive from the creative process itself, or by the dedication and effort you pour into your craft, you maintain autonomy over your sense of achievement. This is not to say that you should abandon your aspirations or cease striving towards your goals. On the contrary, the Stoics encourage you to do everything in your power to pursue your dreams. However, they also emphasize the importance of accepting that, despite your best efforts, you may not always attain the outcomes you desire. By mentally preparing yourself for this possibility in advance, you can maintain a state of equanimity, regardless of the challenges that come your way. The key, then, is to occupy yourself with what is within your control, and to vow to accept everything else exactly as it comes. By adopting this mindset, you will find yourself remaining calm and centered, no matter what life throws your way. You will be able to approach each situation with a clear mind and a steadfast spirit, knowing that you have done all you can to shape your destiny, while also embracing the unpredictable nature of existence. 4. Embrace the virtues. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, delve deep within yourself, for a wellspring of goodness is ready to gush forth if you persist in your quest. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of embracing virtues, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. A virtue can be understood as an excellence of character, or more simply put, morally upright behavior. Such behavior not only benefits you and those around you, but also contributes to the greater good of society as a whole. Stoicism is rooted in the belief that the universe is interconnected, with everything and everyone sharing a fundamental link. As a result, the Stoics held that actions that serve the greater good ultimately benefit the individual as well. They firmly believed that those who were most in harmony with reason were the ones who dedicated themselves to the broader welfare of humanity. In other words, they practiced virtues. On the other hand, the absence of virtuous conduct was attributed to ignorance. The Stoics viewed virtues as guiding stars, illuminating the right path and keeping one grounded when life presents unexpected challenges. This is why individuals who are most enriched with virtues often radiate an aura of tranquility and composure, even in the face of adversity. To truly embody virtuous qualities, one must internalize the 4 cardinal virtues of Stoicism: wisdom, justice, temperance, and courage. In the Stoic perspective, wisdom is the ability to discern between what is good, bad, neutral, and everything in between. It involves rising above the influence of emotions and allowing reason to dictate what is morally just. When faced with a dilemma, wisdom empowers you to analyze both options with a clear and impartial mind. Justice, the second virtue, is built upon the foundation of wisdom. It entails a steadfast commitment to what is right and equitable, not only for oneself, but also for others. The Stoics regarded justice as a duty towards oneself, one's fellow human beings, and society as a whole. It is the embodiment of fairness and integrity in all dealings. Courage, the third virtue, enables one to take action even in the face of personal fear or uncertainty. It propels you to act for the greater good or to undertake tasks despite not knowing the outcome. Courage does not mean the absence of fear, desire, or anxiety, but rather the conscious choice to move forward, overcoming emotional barriers in the process. Finally, temperance, also known as moderation, represents the art of maintaining a balanced path between extremes. It is about exercising self-control, restraint, and discipline in all aspects of life. Marcus Aurelius highlighted the uniquely human trait of self-regulation, which sets us apart from animals. Temperance prioritizes long-term, well-being over fleeting gratification. To illustrate this concept, consider the mundane example of a bag of chips. Indulging in the entire bag might bring momentary pleasure, but it can jeopardize one's health and even mood in the long run. In this case, exercising temperance means pausing after a few bites, recognizing that moderation is key. Wisdom plays a crucial role in gauging the right amount to consume before stopping. Stoicism categorizes things and actions into three distinct groups: goods, evils, and indifferences. The guiding principles of the philosophy revolve around seeking the good, avoiding evil, and embracing indifference according to personal preference. Departing from these virtues was seen as fostering evil, engaging in theft, showing disrespect, acting recklessly, or abstaining from doing good. Indifferent actions, such as taking a leisurely stroll, fell into neither category. These principles offer far more than mere personal betterment. They foster a state of serene composure. By aligning your actions with these virtues, you ensure that you always tread the path of righteousness, guided by reason. In doing so, you cultivate a tranquil mind, even amidst the chaos and challenges of life. Embracing virtues becomes a beacon of light, illuminating the way to a more fulfilling and meaningful existence. 5. Embrace a broader perspective. In our concluding quote, Marcus Aurelius eloquently echoes the wisdom of Plato. Whenever you want to talk about people, it's best to take a bird's-eye view and see everything all at once. Adopting a wide-angle view is a remarkably vital aspect of achieving mental clarity. In the hustle and bustle of life, we often find ourselves entrenched in the midst of every issue, each challenge feeling as if it carries the weight of the world. Imagine being part of a small crowd. It might appear as if the entire city is suffocating in congestion. Yet shifting your vantage point just a few steps away can reveal an entirely different reality. The streets may be bustling with activity, but from a broader perspective, you can see the ebb and flow of life, the intricate patterns of movement, and the overall harmony that exists amidst the chaos. In essence, when we detach and contemplate the grand tapestry of our world and existence, we realize how minute our personal experiences are and how infinitesimal we are in the vast scheme of things. This shift in perspective unveils the expansive realm beyond our immediate encounter. It allows us to see the interconnectedness of all things and the ripple effect that our actions have on the world around us. Often, people overlook the truth that their own encounters and viewpoints aren't the only ones deserving of consideration, even within their own lives. Consider someone who has had an unfavorable experience with dogs. They might find it challenging to fathom that dogs could be cherished companions to others unless they deliberately acknowledge the possibility of diverse experiences. By embracing a broader perspective, they can begin to understand that their personal encounter, while valid, does not define the entirety of the relationship between humans and dogs. From time to time, it's imperative to step back and inquire, what am I neglecting or failing to grasp? This introspective practice bears multiple benefits. For instance, envisage having to choose between remaining in your current job or pursuing a newly available position elsewhere. Such a decision might seem daunting, especially if you're uncertain whether either option will fulfill your aspirations. While your current job offers stability and you're wary of the additional responsibilities tied to a promotion, the allure of a better salary beckons. You might feel ensnared within this dilemma, unable to see beyond the immediate choices presented to you. However, a wealth of untapped prospects lies beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. Have you contemplated venturing into a completely different field, one that aligns more closely with your passions and values? Or exploring a side venture that complements your current job, allowing you to develop new skills and expand your horizons? Perhaps immersing yourself in a passion project could shift your focus away from tasks you find less appealing, reigniting your enthusiasm for work and life. It's entirely plausible that numerous unexplored avenues in life are eluding your awareness. By adopting a panoramic perspective, rather than fixating solely on immediate concerns, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. This broader view significantly aids in informed decision-making, empowering you to make choices that resonate with your deepest desires and aspirations. Broadening your scope isn't only valuable for determining priorities, but also for shaping your opinions. To form a comprehensive judgment, it's imperative to consider all facets and possibilities within a given situation. Moreover, stepping back signifies distancing yourself from personal biases and viewpoints, allowing you to see things through a more objective lens. Temporarily relinquishing your desires can offer a fresh vantage point, prompting you to reflect on those around you and your responsibilities towards them. In the intensity of the moment, you might perceive an action like littering as inconsequential. However, when you pause and widen your perspective to encompass the entirety of the world and the potential consequences if everyone were to follow suit, the insignificance of your inclination to litter becomes starkly apparent in contrast to the well-being of the planet. As previously mentioned, the Stoics firmly believed in the interconnectedness of everything in the world, positing that the overall betterment of the world inherently contributes to one's personal well-being. Hence, taking a step back to embrace a global viewpoint rather than solely focusing on your own life holds immense significance. Confronted with a decision, adversity, challenge, or life-altering change, you have the capacity to pose introspective queries. Whether in the heat of the moment or later on, perhaps while strolling outdoors or during a reflective journaling session, an activity that Marcus Aurelius particularly advocated, these questions allow you to delve deeper into your thoughts and actions. You might think that in the heat of the moment, littering is not a big deal. But when you step back and think of the entirety of the world, of the possibility of everybody else doing it, you finally see the smallness of your desire to litter in comparison to the well-being of the world. As said before, the Stoics thought that everything in the world is interconnected and that the general well-being of the world improves your personal well-being as well. Thus, taking a step back and looking at the world as a whole instead of just your life is tremendously important. When facing a choice, hardship, problem, or change in life, you can inwardly ask yourself some questions. This can be in the moment or later on. Perhaps when you're thinking through your day, whether while out for a walk or when journaling about them, something Aurelius was a particular fan of. The most common questions to ask yourself are, what could the long-term effects of my choice or action be? How could someone else's perspective on this differ from mine? Do I know somebody in a similar situation or with similar goals to mine that could help? Does my choice or action affect my well-being? Does it affect the well-being of those around me? Are there any choices I have not considered yet? Taking the time to consider all aspects of the world helps yourself in the way that it helps you understand your actions, thoughts, life, and choices more clearly. And it helps yourself in the way that it allows you to help the world. When you consider the whole picture, you will always have an overseeing view that leaves you free from unnecessary restraint, bias, or doubt. By embracing a broader perspective, as the Stoics advocated, you unlock a world of understanding and clarity. You begin to see the interconnectedness of all things and the impact that your choices and actions have on the world around you. This expanded awareness empowers you to make decisions that align with your deepest values and contribute to the greater good. So the next time you find yourself grappling with a challenging situation or a difficult decision, remember to take a step back and view things from a bird's-eye perspective. Ask yourself the pertinent questions, explore the untapped possibilities, and consider the long-term effects of your choices. By doing so, you will not only gain a clearer understanding of your own life, but also discover how you can positively influence the world around you. As Marcus Aurelius wisely reminds us, embracing a broader perspective is the key to navigating life's complexities with wisdom, compassion, and a deep sense of purpose. When you learn to see the world through this expansive lens, you unlock the power to create meaningful change, both within yourself and in the lives of others.